JP Heath here from the Church of Sweden, and I'm sitting with Sharon Davies. Sharon, we're in Bangkok at the moment, and we're talking about traditional family values. What sort of reality or myth is this in an Asian context?
Well, the idea of such a thing as a traditional family anywhere, let alone a traditional family in Asia, has been used by a lot of governments and other organizations to try and delegitimate or get rid of anybody who doesn't conform to a very specific idea of what a good family should be. And in that thinking, it should be one woman, one man, and their children. And they use this to say that anything outside of that is not a traditional family and we should get rid of it. But in reality, there's never been anything like a traditional family that's just a mum and a dad and kids. The whole history of humanity has been about diverse forms of family. It might be a mother with different partners and her children living together, or in big communities. So lots of different relationships and kinship and lots of different ideas of love come into forming a family. And so that's why I think it's important to critique this idea of the traditional family so that we can embrace and acknowledge and accept all forms of family.
This is a region which has massive faith diversity. And you represent a Buddhist perspective particularly. Can you give us some insight into this from a Buddhist perspective?
Possibly more so from a Muslim perspective. So a lot of my work is in Indonesia and working with Islam. And what's particularly interesting, in some parts of Indonesia, Islam has been used by people in very progressive ways for hundreds of years now to support all sorts of forms of family. So people saying that, you know, I was made like this by God and I should honor that, and this is how I create my family. So there's been really progressive ways of using Islam to support a whole range of diverse families and genders and sexualities. But more recently, governments have latched on to an interpretation of Islam that has been used to persecute various forms of families and sexualities and genders.